Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host, Saeed. I do want to thank you for joining us tonight on Synergy Television from 7 to 8 p.m. for News in Depth, where we give you the opportunity to call in and voice your concerns on issues that are being discussed on Real Talk with Saeed from 7 to 8. So viewers, local and regional, those of you that are watching us on our page, Real Talk with Saieed Ali Live, remember to like and share our page. For those of you who have not subscribed to YouTube, you can do so, TT Real Talk. Hit the bell and you would know when we go live. So viewers, send your WhatsApp message, send your 50-cent messages. Go onto your Facebook account because I know your phone is being next to you while you're watching the show. So log onto your Facebook account, type in Real Talk with Saieed Ali, and share our stream, viewers. Share our stream. Our page is doing fantastic. Same thing with our YouTube channel. It is going very good. So what I want you to do is to share it. Share it. Let the 5,000 contacts on your Facebook account know about Real Talk with Saieed Ali. So viewers, we're starting off our program tonight. The Minister of Energy has announced that the M4 and M5 methanol plant at Point Lisas have restarted after being idle at the beginning of April. Energy Minister Stuart Young stated in a release that he was pleased at their reopening. Young have been communicating with both the National Gas Company and Proman throughout the recent weeks and welcome the fact that both parties have come to an agreement that led to the restart of the M4 and M5 methanol plant. The release added that the parties will continue to negotiate for a long-term gas supply agreement and will continue to monitor and communicate with the parties. So viewers, those of you that are having spiritual problems, you can feel free to contact me. Those of you who have outstanding money owed by companies and friends and families, you can contact Real Talk Debt Collection Department. They are a department under Real Talk Security Limited and Intelligence Unit. They also do debt collection. So viewers, you can contact them at 238-6716 or 339-1670. Attorney General Faraz Al-Rawi is now in isolation after being informed that he is a primary contact of a recent positive COVID-19 case. However, he has tested negative for the virus. According to a release from the Office of the Attorney General, Al-Rawi had a PCR test done yesterday after being informed of the contact. And as recommended by Health Ministry, although he was tested negative, Al-Rawi has gone into isolation for 14 days. Out of an abundance of caution and in compliance with the COVID-19 protocol. His office stated that he will continue to execute his role and responsibility remotely via virtual platform and other relevant forms of communication. So I do want to wish the Attorney General all the best. Thank God he's not positive for COVID-19. Otherwise it would have been a whole different story. That would have been the second minister. Remember when Nicola called in? But we just leave it right there for now until the month of Ramadan is finished. And then we would know what is really taking place. Nicola, good night.
Good night, good night.
Go right ahead.
I hope we have a speedy recovery and he doesn't get it. That is the Attorney General, a.k.a. the Prophet. Now, they say the Honorable Prime Minister has been removed from isolation, but that is not true. Trump and Biden isolated already. They don't have no dealing with it. Everybody know that. He's still in isolation. Now, the other thing is, my partner, Terence the Terrible, finally admitted that the Venezuelan might be the link for the variant. So they're starting to talk a little bit of truth. And I suppose it's because of the month of Ramadan. They don't want to lie too much. No, we go in and I'm telling you, remember that. I'm saying 666 on the forehead. That he will get that to honor that because he's mismanaging. Because karma will let it go there because they don't want to do the right thing. I don't want to go there, but the way, today how much is 150 more cases? Why is that? Why that is so high? And we lock down the border. If we lock down the border, it comes from the sky, the aliens, and then bring it down. Have a nice day.
Thank you, my friend. Now, viewers, we go to the Prime Minister. The Honorable Keith Rowley was tested positive. My mistake. Was tested today for COVID-19 in keeping with the state health protocol. The result remains negative. So the Prime Minister have tested negative. Now, that brings an end to the PM isolation at the official residence. And also under the supervision of the healthcare professionals. Dr. Rowley also extended his deepest gratitude to the medical team who provided expertise and care for him during this period. He also thanks citizens of Trinidad and Tobago who prayed for his well-being and offers kind words of support over the last 3 weeks. Well, we didn't bad talk him. We didn't bad talk him. I wish him a speedy recovery. I wish that he would come back into the public domain and serve the people. That is what we wish for. But now that he's tested negative and he's coming back to office, it's real talk again. It's real talk again. So viewers, he is tested negative. He will be coming out of isolation. He will be going back to his office. And the work start back again. The work start back again. Let's see who they're blaming this time and for what. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley is currently in talks with the United States about sharing their surplus vaccine with the region. With the region. Hey, sometimes I just wonder, you know. Sometimes I just wonder. A press release issued yesterday afternoon stated that the Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Rowley, wrote to the U.S. President Joseph Biden on 19th of March 2020 asking the U.S. to share its surplus vaccine with the region. You have a letter? Pop up the letter. Let me show the public. Now I'm going to tell you something, viewers. And feel free to call in and voice your concerns and your opinion also. Now, he did not write or he did not send a letter to India's High Commissioner, neither the PM in India. A city that manufactures COVID-19 vaccine. He did not. He said he's not going to beg them. He's not going to ask for a gift. He's not going to beg for anybody. But you sent a letter. You sent a letter to Joe Biden asking. You're begging for Trinidad, you know. You forget Trinidad. You forget Trinidad. We don't have enough vaccine here to vaccinate 1.3 million people. You're asking for the region. You didn't want to send a letter to India High Commissioner. You're begging. But you wrote to Joe Biden for the whole region. The whole region. Not too long ago, Joe Biden had a meeting with some CARICOM leaders, 2 from the Caribbean. And you know, our Prime Minister, being the chairperson, was not invited. Did you all know that? He was not invited. I think that would have been the 2nd or the 3rd time he was not invited. You aren't asking for Trinidad, you know. You are asking for the region. Each Prime Minister or President of their country, of the Caribbean, asking for their country. For their country. You asking for the region. Right here we have the Supermarket Association willing to purchase. They're willing to purchase 30,000 vaccine to vaccinate their workers. The health minister still ain't given the authorization. But you write a letter to Joe Biden. For the region, Why not address it for the citizens of Trinidad? It goes to show you. It goes to show you the leader all you put there. It goes to show you that. President Biden in his response confirmed that the United States' commitment to partner with COVAX and other multinational institutions to ensure the equal distribution of the vaccine. However, the PM could not ask for vaccine from India because he stated that that would be considered begging. On the video.
And of course, when you go to somebody asking for a gift, that is not a gift, you're begging. Understand that. There was no arrangement for us here in Trinidad to be able to vaccinate this population by begging. There was an arrangement put in place with power and of course WHO and of course the world's trading and making of vaccines. That system is now in deep, deep disarray because of.
So you see, viewers, our gift is begging. Our gift is begging. But you're writing to ask for the region. Why you didn't? The High Commissioner and the Prime Minister came out and said, let them send a letter and we will respond to them. They didn't. Did they? Did they? Now let's talk to me. Talk to me. I want to hear from all you. I want to hear from all you. Call a good night.
Saeed, I'm coming from Tobago here, boy.
Go, Tobago, go right ahead.
Saeed, you understand this. This man don't want us to come out of this, you know.
No, he don't.
Right? Saeed, I start to get frustrated and think home here and where. They don't want to take us out of this. Them like this, like they're having some fun with us like children. We are not children. We the only island in the world standing up, going, preparing ourselves like sheep. We're not fighting back. We have to fight back. Oh God, it's not plenty of them, it's few of them. Just come out on the streets and let me get rid of these people. They're not for us. Saeed, I regret I born in Trinidad and Tobago.
Oh God, boy. Thank you, Tobago. Let me tell you something. If I didn't know, the United States is telling its citizens they are safe to come out their house without a mask on now. Without a mask on, you are safe to come out your house. That is what the U.S. is doing. We doing it in Trinidad? We have a blasted Minister of Health. Didn't even know the difference between safety and unsafety. 1 minute he said, leave the mask for the health care. 1 minute they say, put on a mask. One minute he said, rip a jersey and put it on. Next thing you know now, they went to Parliament overnight now and bring a legislation now to charge you $1,000 if you don't have on a mask. So the bloody hell health minister we have, we don't know if he's smart or he's dumb or he's stupid. We don't know that because the track record have shown varies of different things. Put it on, don't put it on. The citizen don't know how to put on a mask. Rip a jersey and put it on. That is our health minister. Rip a jersey and put it on. And none of them saying nothing because they're afraid. All afraid. Like I tell you all from time to time, your old Prime Minister ain't begging for no vaccine for all you. He's begging for no vaccine for all you. So listen this now. I want to know now if we in Trinidad and Tobago have 30 million people. Listen why I am saying that. Trinidad and Tobago will receive some of the 60 million AstraZeneca vaccine donated by the United States. When is this vaccine coming to Trinidad? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. This after news that the country was facing a shortfall in its current vaccination effort. We only have about 40,000 vaccines. We have 1.3 million people to vaccinate. We in a shortfall. We ain't no shortfall. They may even touch the end of the bucket. 40,000 vaccines, 20,000 vaccinated. What we do? We do anything? Come now, man, citizen. Or let's think now. Or let's think now. However, TNT is expected to receive 67,200 vaccine doses from COVAX, but the delivery date is uncertain. It could be this year, it could be this month, it could be next month, it could be next year. According to international reports, that the U.S. was on track to have as much as 300 million additional vaccine in storage. Meanwhile, Foreign Affairs Minister Dr. Amory Brown yesterday confirmed that TNT should receive some of those vaccines, and conversations have started to receive some. Where it coming from? Where it coming from? Come now, man. We ain't hear nothing black and white. We ain't hear nothing solid. Call a good night.
Very, very good evening to you, Mr. Said.
To you, my friend.
The authorities recently said that they don't believe some illegal immigrants.
Oh!
Today the minister walked back and said something else.
Yes.
He believed that he's not ruling out that. However, to make a statement like that, a broad statement, well, firstly, he's admitting that we have illegal immigrants. And secondly, to make a statement like that, you have to know exactly how much illegal immigrants you have in the country, and you have to test every single one to come up with that statement. All the best. Have a great evening.
Thank you, my friend. So as you're talking about that, Trinidad and Tobago first case of P1 Brazilian variant of COVID-19 confirmed on April 19 was found in a Venezuelan migrant. Listen carefully. This is according to Health Minister Terence Dialsing. He made this revelation in Senate today while being questioned on the high transformable variant. Dialsing stated that the P1 variant would have come in by persons entering into TNT.
P1 variant, it would have come in to Trinidad and Tobago by people entering Trinidad and Tobago.
Viewers, Venezuelan migrant. So, it confirmed it was a Venezuelan migrant. But did they confirm if the Venezuelan came in legally or illegally? Migrant could be anything. It could be anything. Are they, that individual, did they come in legal or illegal? Why didn't they come out with that information? Why didn't they? Huh? You see, if you come out with that information now, there is when the Ministry of National Security would step in. And they would have taken that illegal immigrant into custody. But there's all that being done. We just want to know. We want to know. Diazing further, he further questioned on the fact that borders are closed, and if Venezuelan were ruled out as possible entry source, Diazing further reiterated that the P1 variant was found in a Venezuelan migrant. Listen to this.
13 months ago, has the ministry identified other possibilities of methods of the virus entering the country?
Minister.
So the method remains the same, persons entering the country by whatever means.
Mr. Richards.
Can the minister indicate if the Venezuelan migrant population has been ruled out as a possible entry source?
No, because at all possibilities, and I can say, and we have said it publicly, the first case of the P1 variant was found in a Venezuelan migrant.
Get ready to run back the video in first few seconds. You all heard what that minister said just now? You all heard what that minister said just now? The DRC further reiterated that P1 variant was found in a Venezuelan migrant. Run it back.
Given the Ministry of National Security has closed borders 13 months ago, has the ministry identified other possibilities of methods of the virus entering the country?
Minister.
So the method remains the same. Persons entering the country by whatever means.
By whatever means. Person entering the country by whatever means. You see the Alsing now, he did not ask, your pickup is a Venezuelan individual. Didn't you ask, or didn't you have the courtesy to ask, is this migrant, is this Venezuelan migrant, did they come in legal or did they come in illegal? Question to the ask. Question to the ask. P1 variant, the Brazilian P1 variant, is more dangerous than the COVID-19 we have presently in Trinidad. They came in by whatever way possible. Are they legal or illegal? This is a question now. You have to come out and ask. And I would like somebody in Senate on your position to ask Terence the Alsing, that Venezuelan migrant, are they in Trinidad legally or illegally? Because we understand the border closed. So I believe that there's about 8 or 9 individuals now in Trinidad with the P1 variant, the Brazilian variant. So Trinidad and Tobago, ask yourself now, ask yourself if all the information that Mr. Terence commented earlier with on big media briefing, how much of it is true? Who's the individual? Are they here legal or illegally? That is the question. And then we will know how close our border is. That is what we're going to know. Caller, good night.
Good night. Saeed?
Go right ahead.
Well, I see a real thing off on the minister. You know, that is my friend. He went to, the man is a bright fella. He went to convent and he did A levels, so we have to give that credit. Anyhow.
All right, well, thank you. He's smart then.
Listen, I just want to make a quick point here because that's on the variant. You hit a very interesting nail. Now, what is happening is Trinidad and Tobago is a member of the international lending agencies, the International Monetary Fund,
yes,
and the World Bank, which is known as the International Bank for Reconstruction and Development. Singapore, which is almost the size of St. Kitts and Vincent, they already vaccinated the population all over. No,
thank you for sharing the information with the public.
Yeah, there's a COVID relief fund under these international agencies like the IDB, the Inter-American Development Bank. When you use all these delay tactics and all the clip you play there where you say you're begging and this and that, what's the thing going to happen? Funds will come into the country.
Yes.
And then the circular flow of income, the more money comes into the country,
yes,
the government, the housing and the rest of them, they don't have time with nobody, them studying at the end of the day how we're going to allocate these funds and where we put in all these international grants and everything. And nobody are checking on that because I hear nobody from Central Bank, the Ministry of Finance, the Auditor General Department, nobody come in because they would know they have national income accounting and they know where the inflows are coming into the country for all this COVID relief fund.
Correct.
In addition to all the money they took out from the Heritage and Stabilization Fund.
Yes.
It's all about, at the end of the day, just creating more and more chaos in terms of contracts and this.
Correct.
And now we have that. And all this thing, and you're very correct, because all this thing about the mask, 1 minute $1,000, next minute don't put it on, that is to keep the common man on the road there. And I'm really glad that we have people like you could come and bring the issues, the bread and butter and cheese, that hit the ground running and making people understand what's going on in this stuff. So I just want to say, but we had to give Mr. Diaz Singh a little chance because, as I say, the man graduated. He did his A levels at convent, so we had to give him a little chance. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you, my friend, and thank you for sharing the information with the public. You see, it have certain things. I just want caller to call in and say it. Because if Saieed said, they will say Saieed spreading bad rumors. The U.S. telling its citizens, all you come out without mask. Come out without mask. They have over 60 million people in the U.S. Bulletin, news breaking in the U.S. Come out without all your mask. In Trinidad, if you put on your mask, they're charging you $1,000. $1,000. All I want to see something? Run the video. With the cook, Blanche shares. All I want to see something? Voiceover. Let me tell you something. They say, no cooking by the river, no cooking by the beach. Right? Good. Police officers. Congrats to the police officers. Went in a river in Blanchishes and hook up some individuals. Let me tell you something. That tip-off had to be a real tip-off. They say, look what them is. Look at the surrounding. Look where the officer climbing. I want to let you see carefully. Watch where the officer climbing. He boots wet up, going down inside Blanchishes by a river to catch some people making a cook. Let me tell you something. How much sting operation we just have in Trinidad with police? How much sting operation in Trinidad we just have with police? I'm not bad talking police, you know. But I want to show you a difference. Come back to me now, director. I want to show you something. Just how they're set up. Just how they're set up and they went in the river. Watch me. You see the policeman walking, wet up his boots, wet up his clothes, everything. To catch some fellas making a cook. In the jungle in Blanchishes. We have guns. We have cocaine. We have marijuana. We have human trafficking. Happening in Trinidad and Tobago. In every county in Trinidad and Tobago, there's a police station. Them set up a sting with information to go inside the jungle in Blanchishes to hold people making a cook, to charge them. This is my point now. How far from police stations in Trinidad and Tobago would have cocaine, marijuana, and gun selling? On a daily basis. Well, I talk now. It's only raw facts all I getting, you know. Raw facts all I getting. All I talk now. On the corner still have cocaine selling, gun trading, human trafficking taking place, hotels running. Hotels running, but them going to hold some fellas in a sting operation inside Blanchishes by a river making a cook. Congratulations to the police and them. But I'm showing you a point. I'm showing only a point. Your neighborhood have cocaine, marijuana, gangsters living, bad boy living. Set up a bloody hell sting and go and catch them. Case after case after case. Clean up the community. That happening? Is that happening? Caller, good night.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Mr. Saieed, you feel the border was ever closed with Venezuela and Trinidad?
It had boat running taxi from Cedros to Veni. Thank you, caller. Now, we stay on the Alsing. He noted that the government is working with UE and the British High Commissioner. The British High Commissioner to ramp up testing for the variant. Previously, in a media conference, the Alsing stated that the Venezuelan migrant were not to be blamed for the spike in COVID. No, we ain't blame them. We ain't blaming them. You hear me say anything about blame? What I blame was the Minister of National Security for saying the borders open, and are blaming the Attorney General for having all the information that people coming in and see drugs. The boatman ain't get hold, the transport man ain't get hold, the people who harboring illegal immigrants ain't get hold. That is what I was blasting. All the information. Sit down on a desk, waiting for somebody to pick it up, to give an order to the Commissioner of Police, to give an order to his police officers to go and charge the individuals. That order take place? Not as yet. Like they forget the order make. They forget it. You know when you hear you rushing out of the house and you make tea, and you go to comb your hair and you go to put on your socks, and you rush out and you forget your tea? It's a case like that. I want to know if the migrant is legal or not. That's what I want to know. That is what I want to know. Caller, good night.
Yes, hello, good night, Saeed. Salam alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Yes, I listened to your program here, and I mean to say, you have some points and things, but let me be real, I want to tell you this, that I think your platform, your program that you're using, should be a platform to really kind of come to resolution and solution, because if you see this COVID thing now, it's taking over the place. And I mean to say, no deal sing on them the harder ways and things, because I was displeased to understand or to know how it is that they had the vaccine rollout and even the testing and things. I would say they dropped the ball on that, right? So, but what I'm trying to say is that I think you could use the program, man, to really kind of edify people and stop knocking them politicians, and then we know there's, you know, even like the upper. Go ahead.
Stay on the line. I thank you for everything you just said. How long have you been viewing Real Talk?
Oh, I've been in it?
Yeah.
I've viewed in and out because I don't really have the time to commit my every day.
All right. Now, listen
this. This is not the first time I am. This is the first time I call it.
Okay, I do appreciate that. Now, this program have been running for 3 years and about 2 months now, right?
Yeah, aware of that, yeah.
And this program, let me tell you something, the amount of things we get done, and the amount of ideas I give the ministers and them, and national security, and all the ministers, even councillors.
Yeah.
You understand? That is what I just use the platform for. But you see, when you hear a minister come out and make a briefing and start to talk rubbish like we're putting in by the roadside for a rubbish truck to pick up, I just have to blast them.
I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, the blasting, and also we know that it may not get at the result or the objective that we're really looking for.
Nah, believe me, I just get things done. I just get things done.
Huh?
I just get things done.
Well, I understand what you're saying. We'll get things done, but they won't get everything done. But I think that at the end of the day, I think that, you know, we can more kind of focus on really kind of edifying the public in terms of how we can really try to prevent this thing from really spreading, because at the end of the day, this is no friend, you know. I can't no politician into, huh?
Well said.
Yeah, this
you must continue watching it a little more often, and you're going to see the performance we just do.
Well, all right then. I will be looking, and I will also be calling back as well and all too, right?
I do appreciate your call. Thank you, caller.
Yeah.
So viewers, you see? When there's a regular viewer of Real Talk, you will understand what Saeed is be doing. Now, when you hear I mash up a minister like this, use a health minister, Venezuelan migrant. We have a situation with illegal immigrants in Trinidad presently. Right? The Ministry of National Security, and together with Maritime, like they cannot lock down the border because we don't have enough boats. That is a problem. Right? For millions of dollars being spent on national security, police don't have proper vehicle. National security renting police station. We don't have enough vehicle. We don't have boats. We don't have helicopter. We don't have nothing for national security. But millions of dollars are being spent on national security. Right? So we have an issue now, P1 variant, more dangerous than the COVID-19 what we have in Trinidad presently. The minister came out and said it came from a Venezuelan migrant. Come out and let the public know if this is a legal migrant or an illegal migrant, because the public wants to know. The public wants to know. So they would know how to secure themselves a little more. The government, the people on Cedar side will know how to secure the village a little more. If they harbor any illegal immigrants, they would know not to harbor them again. They would know that. Caller, good night.
I must make a point again, and you're so totally correct with that. Right away, they could have realized if this man was registered or not to determine whether it's illegal
Correct.
or legal. And two, you was making a point a while ago, and I want the caller to know. You just rightfully said it, and I want to say it again. The Attorney General went in Parliament,
yes,
and said that he knew the numbers of the boat, the captains of the boat,
yes,
the houses where they have been held, the taxi numbers that is taking them to and fro, and who was charged all the best.
Thank you, my friend. So hear this. Previously in a media conference, Terrence stated that Venezuelan migrants were not to be blamed for the spike in COVID-19. Bust it on them.
The spike in cases to porous borders. Let us be clear. The spike in cases has more to do with the behavior of citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. We keep pushing this narrative that we ought to blame others for our behavior. When I visit hospitals, when I get the data, it is Trinidadians and Tobagonians lying down in our beds. We have one Venezuelan in a hospital bed. So I think it's really unfortunate where we try to link the spike in cases to Venezuelans when the facts and the evidence simply do not lead us to make that conclusion.
Who opened the beaches? Who opened the beaches? Hundreds of people gathering on the beaches, and I've been saying this from the beginning. You have hundreds of people gathering on the beaches while the barmen and them who have to pay rent. You cannot sit down and drink a beer. 20 people cannot gather in a bar to drink a beer, but you have hundreds of people on the beaches gathering and making cook. Clown you. That's why they say when you hear they come out and they making statements like that, I just be prepped and ready and waiting to mash them up. No apology for that. You're blaming Trinidadians. You open the beach. You controlling anything? You put a lockdown on anything? You encouraging people to go on the beach. Just like our Prime Minister. Just like our Prime Minister. Hey, you want to know why there is no COVID-19 cases in Tobago? Let me tell you something. Remember in the early stages when COVID-19 hit Trinidad and Tobago, remember every individual in Tobago that tests positive for COVID-19, they brought them to Trinidad and Tobago via Coast Guard? How many of you remember that? That is why the Prime Minister could sit down and cross his leg and say Tobago is safe, because all the cases in Tobago, they're dumping them in Trinidad. How many of you remember that? How quickly we forget. So he come back now. He come back now and hit Trinidadian people with their own whip. With their own whip. How many of you remember that? Caller, good night.
Hello, good night, Saeed.
Go right ahead.
So, Saeed, I'm bringing you back to the old days.
How old?
Remember Yogi Bear and Boo Bear, Ranger Smith couldn't find them there in the forest with the picnic basket? This was a special branch that found these guys. And you know who it was? I know the agent name. And I got to say it. It's Secret Squirrel. I'm going to let Aniku that find them there, looking for cookouts to thief the people picnic basket. The thief the cook.
Thank you, my friend. So Trinidad and Tobago, you all remember that? Well, I forget. Why do you think Tobago have no COVID? According to the Prime Minister. Because in the earlies, anytime they test them for COVID, they're shipping them from Tobago to Trinidad for isolation via Coast Guard. I remember that? I'll forget that. I'll forget that. Oh, greatest we leader. Right foot, left foot. When they test positive across there, you dump them in Trinidad. Huh? Caller, good night.
Yeah, President, good night.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, caller from Deep South, boy. You know, rightly as well, we were saying now in the Deep South, the Seagrass area. I observe something like every Friday, right? Every Friday in Seagrass. Bars are normal people line when you come down in Seagrass. And I observe something that on the beach, two persons pull outside by the park, right? Sit down in the vehicle. The police pass right there and tell them they cannot, you know, they were in the vehicle. So I see, man, the bars is right here and activities going on from Friday to Saturday. I don't know, these things are going on with all these things with boats and Venezuelan and jobs. I mean, these things going on for years. And people have been highlighting these things together with you for years and nothing has been done. I don't know what's really going on and it's like life as normal in Seagrass.
Yeah, I know that. I know. I tell you my information on top. So I thank you, caller. At least the public know now what's taking place down in Seagrass. At least the public know that now. So hear this now. President of the Barkeepers Association of Trinidad and Tobago, Satish Munisar, have suggested that government ban the consumption of alcohol in public in order to dissuade persons from congregating and spreading COVID-19. Munisar noted that while bars and restaurants have been restricted from the consumption of alcohol and food in their premises, the general public is still allowed to congregate and consume alcohol in all public space, which is true. Which is true, because the groceries selling it, they're still selling it. You can pull up side in the road in a van and drink your alcohol. He noted that if food and alcohol are deemed high risk, then it should be deemed an even greater risk in public space where there is no measures of control. He suggested that for the next 60 days, the consumption of alcohol in all public space should be prohibited along with an open container policy with respect to alcohol canisters in all public places to be implemented for the same period. And I want the RC to think about that. Think about that. Think about that. Paula, good night.
Good night, Said.
Go right ahead.
I want you, I don't know if you saw the news that the Javits Center in New York today celebrated the 500,000 dose of the vaccine in 3 months. So in New York City, in one location, they administered 500,000 doses in the last 3 months. That's 500,000 doses.
Yes.
We had a month of dose giving out vaccines in multiple locations, and that's 40,000 doses. Imagine if we had vaccines here and we were inoculating at the rate of Javits Center in New York, we'd have been close to herd immunity. So who dropped the ball?
Thank you, my friend. Well said. Well said. You see, watch me. It's all about keeping the citizens down. Man have rent to pay, man have school bills to pay, man have groceries to buy, man have loan to pay for their vehicles. People take loan to buy furniture, for TV. You have bills to pay, and you want to tell them, stay home, stay home, stay home. Stay home and do what? When the bank come down on them, how much people commit suicide because they can't face in the bank? Stay home, stay home. We have the other thing now saying is the bad habit of Trinidad and Tobago, they're congregating. While we're saying do not congregate, we have the beach shore Trinidad and Tobago. Hundreds of people gathering. Great is the people that govern Trinidad and Tobago. Great is them. Additionally, he claimed the bar owners we're talking about.
But I cannot say yea or nay at this point in time because that may require some legislative tweaking. I have no idea whether that can be handled under the regulations or whether a special law needs to be passed. But the TTPS, I did see the TTPS make certain statements last night, and I am guided by those statements, and I will be conferring with the Honorable Attorney General on the second part. I did see that, and I must really commend the Bar Owners Association. Those two gentlemen with whom I converse with on a regular basis have been very, very cooperative. The issues that they have raised are issues that have to deal with the TTPS and possibly the Honorable Attorney General. I will be contacting him during the course of the day to see if that is possible, but I cannot say yea or nay at this point in time because that may require some legislative tweaking. I have no idea whether that can be handled under the regulations or whether a special law needs to be passed. But the TTPS, I did see the TTPS make certain statements last night, and I am guided by those statements, and I will be Attorney General on the second part.
You see now, viewers, things to protect the citizens, them I want to do it. We had to bring some laws, he had to talk about the Attorney General, and we might have to legislate something. But when you're on platform, balling, leave the mask for the frontline workers. Trinidad and Tobago citizens don't know how to put on a mask. Burst a jersey and tie it around your face. That working, ain't? Until now, until Clumsy here now, decide to bring a legislation now that if you don't wear a mask, we're going to charge you $1,000. But to ban alcohol in the public space, you have to bring out one set of nandalal. One set of things you have to go into. You have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do the next. But to charge people $1,000, you could have do it overnight. Right? You could have do it overnight. Boy, let me tell you something. I will label you from now until COVID fix in Trinidad. From now until COVID fix. No sense, no sense. To protect the citizens is too much a thing. But to make money, you know how to do it. Attorney, here what's going on. You see this? We need to pass this overnight. Monday morning, talking to you. By Tuesday or Wednesday, make sure this in effect. Boom, shot. 2 days after, $1,000 in your tail. Hello, come good. Come good. Have a man like Saieed here for all you. It's not UNC, you know. It's not PNM, you know. But as long as you sit down in a seat and you have to govern Trinidad, let me tell you something. Do the correct way. Do the correct way. So we're switching gears a bit now into a little crime news. Workers at Bond Warehouse, located at Piaco International Airport, including custom brokers, are to be questioned as part of the investigation into a major gun and ammunition discovery last Thursday night. Got the picture? Pop the picture and show them. Senior police officers stated that senders and recipients of illegal firearm and ammunition were using false name and address, making it hard to trace the perpetrators. In an immediate response to the bust last week, Police Commissioner Gary Gifford also stated that the seizure was a big dent into illegal firearm and ammunition trade through legitimate port of entry. Thursday night bus recovered 30 firearm and 762 rounds of assorted ammunition. Efforts to reach National Security Minister Fitzgerald Hines were unsuccessful. Up to now, he make a statement. Following the bust, it is also alleged that the U.S. Department of Homeland Security will soon be establishing an office in Trinidad and Tobago. Let me tell you something. You know how long them supposed to come here? You know how long them supposed to come here? You know how long? I have FBI friends right here in Trinidad. In certain departments, I won't call it out. But we are friends. They check me on a regular basis. I keep in touch with them on a regular basis. So I know what is taking place. When you tell yourself, Saieed don't know, it's because Saieed know. You think I have Real Talk Security and Intelligence Unit running for nothing? For nothing? You see now, they may go come and say, Saieed, take a contract and do security and intel for us. No, they can't do that. You know why they wouldn't do that? You know why they wouldn't do that? You see white collar? I go take a scissors and cut white collar. So it ain't no joining. I tell you, I stink when I'm ready, you know. I stink when I'm ready, you know. You know what caused me to get so stink? When they come after my son. I stand up for the rights of citizens and Trinidad and Tobago, and you go come after your son. That was the mistake you make. And I stink with everybody. Me do business what platform you're holding. Me do business what position you're holding. I run in this here. It ain't nobody to buy my time, or it ain't nobody to pay for my time because I alone doing it. So you can't say, well, you're not going to give me 10,000, and I will give me 20,000, and I go drop a price, and I go manipulate him, and I go take him. Hey, you're making a mistake. You're making a mistake. A big one too. Package labeled washer and dryer turned out to be an aerosol of guns and ammunition. On Sunday night around 9 p.m., intelligence was received which suggested that a cargo container of household appliances was imported into Trinidad and the code signed on the package was identified. Police were told that the shipment was housed at Medway Limited, a customs warehouse situated in McBean, Couva. The item entered the country sometime around the end of February. Around 7 a.m. yesterday, personnel from the Special Investigations Unit at the SIU went to Midway Warehouse and opened the package. What's supposed to be household items? They discovered 200 rounds of 7.62 millimeter Wolf Performance brand, 150 rounds of 9 millimeter Black Blazer brand, 20 bucks of pure hemp, that hemp that is smoked that is sold on the street, 9 black 9 millimeter ammunition drum, 1 assault rifle with scope, and many other guns and ammunition. Just imagine that. Just imagine that. Boy, it's easy, no? So moving along now, a man named Saieed Ali, 29-year-old national of Dominican Republic, was charged with possession of marijuana for the purpose of trafficking by members of the Northeastern Division Gang Intelligence Unit. Congratulations to those guys. I know some of them there. Based on intelligence gathering, officers intercepted a white Nissan panel van. Upon seeing the officers, the 2 occupants alighted the vehicle and ran. Officers caught the suspect a short distance away. A search of the panel van revealed a quantity of plastic wrapped item. Police found the item to be marijuana amounting to 106.24 kilograms with an estimated street value of $2.8 million. Hear this now. Hear this now. I always say, you see, I got the marijuana decriminalized for Trinidad and Tobago for those who use it as medical purpose, and getting marijuana legalized in Trinidad and Tobago. I'm going to tell you something. Come back to me, director. Let me tell you something, Trinidad. If you all know the value of the tax that the government could be making for Trinidad and Tobago in US and in euros and in pounds, let me tell you something. All you will be surprised. You all would be surprised. They're quite telling you. I just deal with top men, local and regional. In some countries, marijuana have been legalized. And I have been in communication with some officers of special units. And the kind of tax revenue that the government pulls in. Let me tell you something. When I heard that, I was ashamed. I was ashamed the kind of money they're making in tax. We don't have oil and gas pumping again. So what do? We diverse. We look for something. We looking for anything here? We are looking for nothing. We are looking to make no revenue, no way. Ask the planning committee what they have in plan for Trinidad and Tobago for 2020, 2021. And bringing up the economy, they will tell you, well, we have oil and gas. And we have revenue coming in from tax, from gas. And that is why we introduced the 12% back. Anything new? No, you don't have anything new. They don't have nothing new. They're killing you for tax. Make sure your vehicle go to run on the road. But the blasted road mashing up the vehicle. Just imagine that. Your vehicle has to be roadworthy. But when you go down in a pothole and you bust a tire, you have no choice. 2 weeks back you buy a new brand tire. You have to run the spare where you take out. That's common sense. Common sense. I blasted from cook to captain, You know why? You know why? Somebody have to stand up for the 99.9%. Somebody have to stand up for them. And I'm glad it's me. And I'm glad God chose me to a man who doing spirit work. So you can't interfere with me. You can't interfere with me. But nevertheless, viewers, it was Tune It Up Tuesday. I do want to thank you for joining us tonight, right here on Real Talk with Saieed Ali on Synergy Television. So viewers, remember to share our live stream. Real Talk with Saieed Ali. Share our Facebook page, share our YouTube channel. And remember, anybody having spiritual problems, you need counseling, feel free to contact us. Our office are located on Caroni Savannah Road in Shogunas, number 14 Caroni Savannah Road in Shogunas. Our contact numbers are 2386716 or 3391670. Remember, we have a fantastic show, the #1 current affairs program. So until we meet again, Allahumma surraba ala kadda illa labazur kuba ulla anta. Don't be like the fools when Moses led from Egypt and into the wilderness and was never the promised land. Never went to the promised land. Allah ba rukuba illa zirikiba inna suntu rukamba. Be the one that will see and enter into the promised land. So until we meet again, good night.